Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. The hot piece of news that has really taken over at least a portion of the PC gaming world has obviously been the censorship topic, and just a few days ago we heard about GOG and their initiative in terms of fighting against censorship in gaming. Censorship is quietly deciding which games you can buy. GOG has decided to fight back. Now, a lot of people have their various opinions on the situation, but I do want to go over some of the updates that GOG has offered on their official channels. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of a note of how insane the story is, the tweet on GOG, I think this has got to be their most liked tweet ever, and maybe their most viewed tweet. Prior to that, their pinned tweet is the celebration and the launch of the preservation program, and that got 9.8 thousand likes. Well, how about 70,000 likes for the tweet about announcing freedom to buy games, and then also 4 million impressions, and that is just insane. The numbers for this have been insane, and again, I think GOG is doing an incredible job of crafting their own space in the PC gaming storefront landscape. And that is something that I think a lot of people should be talking about. And GOG put out a follow-up tweet just a few hours ago as I'm recording this video. In 24 hours, 1 million people have claimed the freedom to buy games and shown their support. The response is so much beyond our expectations that our team needs to work around the clock to maintain the stability of the platform. For people who had difficulties claiming the games, we are expanding the action by a few hours. Take action quickly, and remember, any DRM-free game you get and download from GOG can never be taken away from you. Any game that disappears today becomes exponentially harder to revive later. Retrieve, revive. Same concept, you get what I'm saying. But that has always been GOG's mission statement, and again, something that I really do believe has set them apart from the other digital storefronts where they have an identity. And I think whenever you are trying to make an alternative storefront, the biggest hurdle that you have to get past is, what is your identity? And I bring up Epic Game Store because that is the most notable alternative and competing storefront on Steam, or against Steam. What is Epic Game Store's identity? Is their identity that they offer free games every week? Well, what does that really establish as far as their long-term goals? Is their long-term goal to really give people free games perpetually for years and years and decades? That's not a viable long-term solution. You're just spending money and you're giving out games. Look, I like the free games. It gives me easy content to make on this channel. But, you know, in terms of creating a compelling storefront that has an identity, Epic Game Store, to me, doesn't really have that. It doesn't have an identity as far as why it exists. It exists so there is a storefront that ultimately you hope that Epic Game Store could make money with, and Epic Games can make money with that, but it just seems like not a lot of people are buying games from it. It doesn't seem like there's that rallying of people getting hyped up for it. Like, GOG at this point has built up an audience that people love GOG. People will go to bat for GOG, and that is probably the hardest thing to develop as an alternative, is developing that fan interest and fan investment where the fans will literally want you to succeed. Epic Game Store doesn't have that, and so many alternatives don't have that, where they desperately, or not even desperately, but to an extent they really want your platform to succeed. GOG has found that. GOG has absolutely found that, and I'm not saying that it's ever going to dethrone Steam. That's not the idea. I don't think that's their goal, but I think in terms of going towards the you know, goals that they have, and those goals set themselves apart. They have a reason to exist, and it's not like you have to be the storefront everybody goes to in terms of buying their games, but the storefront that some people go to and some people appreciate. That's really all you need to do, and you don't need 100% of the audience, but if you have a good percentage, a sizable portion of people that appreciate your platform and will buy games, and at the end of the day, you could use both. You could have a GOG account, you could have a Steam account, and you can buy games on both platforms. Some games you decide to buy on GOG, some games you decide to buy on Steam, and some games maybe you decide to buy on an Epic Game Store. You get them for free on the Epic Game Store and you play there. If you don't remember, these are the games that are available for free: Postal 2, Agony and Agony, Unrated, Leap of Love, Being a Dick Season 1, Leap of Faith, House Party, Hootie Pop, Lust Theory, Treasures of Nadia, Summer's Gone Season 1, And I had initially skipped Fetish Locator. I said Fetish Locator. Fetish Locator week 1. Yeah, like I was just so taken aback by the name of like Fetish Locator. Okay, buddy. But yes, I was so taken aback that I skipped it initially, and then I went back and I was like, just suck it up and say it. Sapphire Safari and Helping the Hotties, which I want to say that might be another edition, but there's 13 games that are available. Again, a lot of these games are NSFW titles. They're not games personally up my alley, but I think people that are able to use a fraction of a brain cell can realize that it's not really about the games themselves, although Postal 2, overwhelmingly positive reception. Agony, while I wasn't crazy about that game had a lot of hype and buzz around it when it was initially coming out. And again, while it's not about the games in a vacuum, it's about censorship, because I've said it over and over again. An inch can overnight become a mile. Maybe it'll take a little bit longer than overnight, but you get what I'm saying. Everything that was happening with Collective Shout, it's whatever on the games that got pulled from Steam, but what would happen if a game like Detroit Become Human, which Collective Shout wanted to be delisted or not be sold in Australia, what would happen then? Do we want to even get to that point? No. So at the very least, when you do have an alternative storefront that's doing something to bring notoriety and really establish themselves as a different storefront, and whether, like, I saw some people say, oh, this is just GOG posturing for goodwill. First of all, this is in line with GOG's messaging that they've had since their inception, in the sense of being that storefront that's about preservation and whatnot. It goes in line with that, and if it is posturing, if it's them trying to get more recognition, who cares? Ultimately, it'll benefit the consumer. If you care about game censorship, ultimately, GOG is an entity that is going to provide you, hopefully, a storefront that is going to go against that, and they have that in mind. At the very least, they have it in mind. Who cares if it's for posturing? Who cares if it's, oh, we can generate some buzz, which I don't believe that's what GOG is. I think GOG has had a mission statement and an objective for a very long time, and their identity has been established for so long. If you've been following GOG, and I've done videos about the preservation program and GOG in totality, and I gotta cover them more, and they do great work, but you know, if you've been following GOG and what they've been doing, this is very much in line with their vision and what they've been doing for a very, very long time. So that idea of, oh, they're just utilizing this story and they're trying to get attention. Yeah, obviously, they're gonna get a bit of attention, and we went over the data and the numbers attached to the tweets that they put out. It's absolutely staggering, but at the end of the day, it's a good thing for you if you do care about this story and you do have an entity that's, first of all, giving you free games, second of all, is doing something to fight against this. So I think it's great. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Shout out to GOG, because they've done a great job of being an entity that has cared about at least game preservation and somewhat of consumer interest. So that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. What's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.